Alright, let's move on to this next video.
Guys, I didn't start building my credit score until I was about 24 years old, and I used cash for pretty much everything up until that point. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you how to rebuild and how to take your score from 0 to hero, just like that.
Do that.
Actually, what is my credit score? Oh wow, almost 800. Not quite perfect, but I'm
on the way to being free.
Andre Jick, and welcome to my YouTube finance channel. And whatever you do, do not turn on auto subtitles because YouTube thinks my last name is. Thanks, YouTube. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about credit cards. And I know there's a ton of these videos out there on YouTube, but hopefully none quite like this one, because by the end of this video, I'm gonna give you an actionable step-by-step plan for repairing your broken credit or building it from 0 all the way up to 700. So cash back, starting off with everybody's favorite, is 5% cash back on things like groceries, gas, and retail. You can then use that money as credit to pay your monthly balance. And that word you're gonna hear a lot throughout this video and generally throughout the credit world. And that means how much money you owe at the end of every single month. Roadside assistance. Not a lot of credit card companies advertise this one because they don't want you to know about it, but many major banks like Citibank, Chase, Capital One, and Visa all offer roadside assistance. And this can include boosting your dead battery, helping you with a flat tire, delivering fuel to you in case you run out of gas, or towing your car entirely if it just breaks down in the middle of the freeway. And the best one, and my favorite, if you're an idiot like me and you lock yourself out by leaving your keys in your car. All you have to do is call them up on that number on the back of the credit card and they'll come and help you right away. Hello, that's me again. I left my keys in the car. Come help. Travel rewards. Now, some credit cards, instead of giving you cash back for every dollar you spend, they'll actually give you a mile of travel to use toward. So here's what I want you to do. The first and most important thing is never carry a balance and always pay off your credit card in full every single month, no matter what. This is the first level we have to beat, and it accounts for 35% of your entire score, which is huge. The first thing I want you to do after receiving that secured credit card is go online. It's super easy. Set up auto pay. That way you'll never forget, because if you don't, you will forget. Because I did. But the great thing is, if you forget once, that first month is something called the grace period. All you have to do is call them up and be like, hey guys, I'm really sorry. And you do have to apologize, and they'll forgive that one time. But after that, so the next level you have to beat is level 2, and that is the utilization rate, which means the amount of money that you use every single month versus how much money you have access to. And if you want that excellent score, you should use no more than 10% of your total monthly allowance. So going back to that secured card.
Am I crazy? Didn't he just say never carry a balance, and now he's saying don't use over 10% of your credit? Let me know in the comments. Is he for real? Like, is that what he said? I'm pretty sure I heard him say don't carry a balance, but now here he's saying don't use more than 10% of your credit utilization of your credit cards. We off to a great start, baby.
You initially got. If you put in $100 and that's how much they gave you back as revolving credit, you should use no more than 10% of that, or $10 a month, for an excellent credit score. So that's why I explained, depending on how much flexibility you want, like let's say if you want to buy groceries and food with it, maybe you should have a slightly higher deposit so you give yourself a little flexibility. However, one lesser known trick that I didn't know about is that theoretically, if you had nerves of steel, you could just give them $100 and then once a month, literally just once, buy a pack of gum for $5 every single month, pay it off, and just with that one trick alone, build yourself an excellent credit score, assuming you do everything else correctly. Now, just for transparency and example's sake, I have about 5 or 6, maybe 7 credit cards, and across all of them, I have about $40,000 available to me every single month. That means I should be spending no more than $4,000 or 10% of it. This accounts for 30% of your entire score, which is huge. Don't neglect this one. People forget about it. right? Oh, and also don't cheat and think you're clever by spending $0. They need to see at least 1% utilization rate every single month. The third level you need to know about, you don't need to beat it, but you should still know how, is types or variety of credit. Now, this sounds complicated. I promise it's really easy. There's just two of them you have to remember: installment loans and revolving credit. Installment loan is anything that you borrowed money to pay for. So this includes things like your personal loan, your college loans, your car payment, your mortgage, anything like that. Also, your phone and your internet bill do not count, okay? And also, don't get confused. You do not need to use your credit card.
Just really quickly, just in case, because you only named a couple of installment loans. Let's see if you have a boat loan, motorcycle loan, an ATV, a UTV. Those also count as installment loans. So something that not a lot of people mention. So let's get back into it.
To pay for these, okay? They just want to see that you're able to borrow money from someone and then consistently make payments. They don't care how, as long as you do them and you make them on time. And the other type of credit, your revolving credit, get it because it spins. That's all of your credit cards. So you're pretty much taken care of. If you're watching this video, you already have a credit card or you just got one. Now, both of these, installment loans and revolving credit, make up just 10% of your entire score. So please, don't go buying something and getting yourself into debt just to please your credit score. You don't need it to build an excellent score. And the fourth level to master is the number of inquiries. Now, when I first started applying, I applied to 8 credit cards.
Cause I'm dumb.
And I got declined by all of them. And they make up 10% of your credit score. So anytime you inquire about borrowing money, they inquire about your credit report and your score, and that dings you. And again, although it's only 10%, they add up fast. And the worst part, they take 24 months or 2 years to fall off your report. In fact, I still have 2 of them waiting to fall off of my report. So at any given time, please don't apply to more than 2 credit cards at any given time. Trust me. And the last level to beat is kind of the ultimate boss, and that is age of history. This is the one that hurts me the most because my history is pretty young, but you can get to 700 and beyond with just 1 year. But if you want to get to that 800, it's gonna take you 5 to 10 years to get to that point, because this accounts for 15% of your entire credit score. Now that you know how to use your credit cards like a boss, you need to know how to check your credit score. You can do this by performing what's called a soft inquiry, so as not to arouse your score by performing a hard inquiry. Remember we talked about those? They ding your score. So you can do this by downloading the free Credit Karma app. It's simple, it's easy to use. I use it all the time. And also, your credit cards sometimes allow you to check your score for free without penalizing you at all. And when you check your score, you may find as many as 3 different credit scores from the 3 different credit bureaus. They are TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Together, they will average to make what's called the FICO score, and that's the score that gets reported to lenders when you borrow money. Your score will range anywhere from 300 to 850 when you average to make what's called TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Together, they will average to make what's called the FICO score, and that's the score that gets reported to lenders when
That is not true. Each of those entities has their own separate credit score. So you have TransUnion and Equifax, which use Vantage, and then you have Experian that uses FICO. So that's not correct. So just because when you go on to Credit Karma, you'll see that score. But then also when you go to Experian, you'll go ahead and also see the FICO score that's mainly through Experian, and then TransUnion and Equifax have other different credit score modeling. They don't fall under FICO, so that is not correct. But hey, I'm not the one that has almost 500,000 views on a video. Get me there, baby. Get me there. Like and subscribe. Almost to 50 subscribers. Really excited. Thank you everyone that's been subscribing.
When you borrow money. Your score will range anywhere from 300 to 850. Now, anything that is 750 and beyond is going to get you that prime rate when you borrow money. Anything that is above 750 is just for showing off. So quickly, here are some things that do not affect your credit score whatsoever. How much money you have doesn't matter. How much money you make doesn't matter. I used to think it mattered, but it absolutely doesn't. Smashing the like button, it doesn't matter to them, but it matters to me, so smash the like button. Using debit cards or gift cards to build your score. No, they will not. And lastly, using your credit card at a gas station. No, it will not hurt your score. And if you follow all of these steps for 9 months to 1 year, at the end of that, your credit score should shoot up to 700 and beyond, at which point you're going to get flooded every single month with credit card offers and banks throwing money at you. For the most part, I want you to say no.
He had me. He was doing so well right up till that last statement. He says you cannot get a 750 FICO score within 9 months. That is just not possible. So instead of explaining it to you, I will show you here in a minute. So do not leave, because I'm gonna just show you, just so you understand when it comes to building a credit score. It does take time, and especially if you're still new to it, because the thing is that Eve looking at it now from an underwriter perspective, not from a perspective of building credit. So if you do get if you end up being at a 750 credit score, that doesn't really mean nothing to us as underwriters. What really matters is your credit experience, your pay history, because that's the whole point of us giving you a loan. Are you going to pay us back, and do you have already established accounts showing that you've been paying other financial institutions back? So just having a high score doesn't really mean anything. You can still be deemed limited credit. And what is limited credit is people that have not established credit, so they don't have anything reporting, or they have less than two credit accounts reporting on their credit reports, and it's like under 2 years. That is considered limited credit, just because it takes a while before you end up getting out of limited credit or thin credit. So that is just when it comes to that, it's very when it comes to those type of credit scores and how fast you can get to those credit scores, it just amazes me how they will sit there and tell you this without providing the source. Because that's one thing is like, okay, how do you know this, and are you just repeating everything that every other financial guru on YouTube says? So yeah, but let's go ahead and hop into this for me to show you why within 9 months you will not get a 750 credit score. So all right here this is called a FICO score estimator. So pretty much this is just an estimate to be able to give you like a credit score by answering certain questions in this box. So we're going to go ahead and go through his metrics. He said within 9 months of getting to a 750 credit score. Let me see. Yeah, he didn't really list anything more. Yeah, so like after 9 months. All right, let's see. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. All right. So, how many credit cards do you have? We're going to say 1 because that's what he said. He said you didn't really need like your first credit card, or you didn't really need to have a lot of credit cards. All right. There's no option for 9 months, so we're going to have to go between 6 months to 2 years. So it's definitely going to be very interesting to see, because it looks like we're not going to be able to maybe get up to 9 years. All right, so how long ago did you get your first loan? So we're going to try to shoot for that 9 months. No 9 months, but there's that 6 months, 2 years again. How many loans or credit cards have you applied for? let's just say in the last year, we'll just say one. How recently have you opened a new loan? We're gonna say 6 months. Not 6 months ago. 36 months. I would say we're just gonna go 6 months. How many balance? How many of your loans and or credit cards currently have a balance? 0 to 4, because we're assuming you have an auto loan and a credit card for the scenario. Besides any mortgage loans, what are the total balances on the other loans and credit cards? So let's say you don't have no balance, but let's say you use like an average amount of what's the average auto loan in the United States? Average auto loan in America. Let's go, baby. Consumer for use, and we'll just go use. So we're gonna use 21,500 instead of using 34, because that's gonna hit you hard. So see, I'm already being a little biased. All right. When did you last miss a loan or credit card payment? I have never. So perfect payment history. How many of your loans or credit cards are currently past due? 0. What percentage of your total credit card limits do your credit cards balance represents? I'm gonna say 0 to 9%. All right. In the last 10 years, have you ever experienced bankruptcy, repossession, or an account in collection? All right. We're going to say no. And let me see. What do you guys think in the comments below? Put it down what you think. I'll wait a minute and just wait for you guys. 30 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, you guys were taking way too long. All right, give me a drum roll. Let's see if you get to a 750. Wah, wah, wah. Between 695 to 745. And again, this wasn't even using like the actual 9 months, so it was a little biased. So I didn't determine like it was between that 6 months to 2 years that we were clicking a lot. So yeah, he's a big fail. And again, you guys saw I wasn't really trying to like I wasn't trying to sabotage it and be like, oh yeah, for him not to hit it. Like I was literally, making sure that make sure we didn't have any balances. We never missed a payment. The biggest thing is just having an auto loan of $20,000 and above. Because again, I just used the average amount. So yeah, so not really off to 750. But again, this is what he said. I'm only saying what he is saying. So yeah, man. So there you go. I'm out here exposing this advice. So let's go ahead and move on to the next video.